Hello, it's Gabby here for you. Before we jump onto this week's podcast, I just want to let you know about 2 ways that you can work with me. First of all, I do one-to-one coaching and I do that via Zoom, so we can jump on a Zoom call at a time to suit you. The second thing I've got for you is an online coaching course that's 12 modules that you can download straight away now. There will be a link somewhere around these podcast notes. And this is the course that I've designed, and it's got everything in it that I wish I'd have known when I finished cancer treatment and I was lost. So you can download that course now and you can start working towards making this your happiest and healthiest year ever. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, it's Gabby here for you, and I hope this finds you well. In this week's podcast from Confidence After Cancer, I am inspired by a wonderful day retreat that I've just returned from, and it was run by a wonderful lady called Lynn Meadowcroft near Bolton, and it was all about being the queen for a day. And so there's a group of ladies and we were pampered and we were treated like queens, but also we were thinking about queen energy and how we could use that in our lives for improved happiness and confidence. And so I really wanted to share that with you this week and give you a brief overview of what queen energy is, how I use it with my coaching clients, and what it can do for you if there's something in your life that you maybe want to change. Could using queen energy help you to have more confidence or to help you make the changes that you want to make? So basically, queen energy, if you think about women in particular, and I know this applies to men as well, but particularly women, we play different roles at different times in our lives. We may be mothers, we may be wives, sisters, employees, we might be bosses, we might be managers, so many different roles that we put into our lives, if you like, different hats that we wear at different times. And so when I'm working with my clients, I do like to think about the different archetypes that we can play with. And it is quite playful. There's none of this that you have to do anything, but it's quite interesting sometimes to think about some of the characteristics of a queen and how that could help you. Because if you think about queen energy, what it means to me, the queen energy is a symbol of confidence, empowerment, self-worth, and leadership. And this might be important for you if you are thinking about to reclaim your power in your life. Quite often women that are coming to me have lost that sense of power, and it could be after a marriage breakup, it could be after the loss of a job, a breakdown of a relationship, after an illness. It could be suffering from stress that is sometimes you hear the expression, you can't see the wood for the trees. As we get older, and as we get into middle life as well, sometimes it's very easy for women to lose sight of who they are and to feel quite powerless. And I'm here to tell you there's tips and techniques and things that you can do to reclaim that power. And for me, reclaiming my queen energy has really helped me to do that. But the other big thing as well that I see so often is the women that I'm working with, it's their limiting beliefs that are holding them back from reclaiming their power. And again, as a coach, that's something that I work with people to do. As a coach, I don't tell them what to do, but I work with a client on exercises, giving them strategies to think about reclaiming their power, challenging those limiting beliefs if they're holding them back from where they want to be in life. Okay, so what is queen energy? Let's start off maybe talking about that. And if you go back like in historical times, in the UK where I am, going back to maybe thinking about Queen Elizabeth I, she was very much a woman, a strong woman in a man's world. So you think about what she had strength, she had resilience, she had grace, she had to do to be the queen. Quite often I will refer back to the queen archetypes when I'm working with a client, because we can dip in and out of these archetypes. We're not one thing all of the time. None of us are. But sometimes if you've got a particular situation to deal with, drawing on that queen energy can be really powerful. So what is a queen all about? Well, she's comfortable in leadership and certain of her place in the world. The queen is full of grace and dignity. She's deeply committed to her realm, and she holds a clear vision for what she desires for those in it. People around her are fiercely dedicated to her vision and will often lay down their lives in service of her ideals. So that's quite an extreme example about thinking about the queen of a country. But quite often a woman in a leadership position can be like that. She can be a queen. And things have changed even in my lifetime. Thinking about, a few years ago in the UK, we had Margaret Thatcher, the first woman prime minister. And I wouldn't say she's a particularly good example of leading by feminine power, because the way I saw Margaret Thatcher was she had to put on that mantle of acting like a man in a man's world. If you watch her, if you studied her and see how over the years her voice got deeper, the more senior she got in her position, her voice got deeper. She was wearing the power suits, which a lot of women did in the 1980s. I'm not here to say she's right or wrong. I just think it's very interesting to think about the type of power that she had. That wasn't really a feminine power. It was very much masculine. It was very aggressive. It seemed to me Margaret Thatcher's world was very black and white. You either agreed with it or you didn't. Now, is a queen really like that? Or is a queen kind of considerate of her subjects and considerate of the people around her? And if you like, leading a little bit by consensus. So characteristics of a queen could be very serene. She's in command. She's aware, receptive. She can be humble at times. She can listen to people. She's not always thinking she's got the answers to everything. She's full of grace. She seeks counsel from people who are wiser or maybe more experienced or more knowledgeable than she is. She's regal. She's visionary and clear. But she doesn't do guilt, and that's a major thing for me. I think a lot of women that I deal with, middle-aged women, we know the right things to do. We know we should be taking more care of ourselves. We know that all the things that we should be doing, taking time out for ourselves, taking time to rest and relax, is very challenging for a lot of women. And again, going back to our Queen for the Day retreat, that was the whole point of it. It was a day just for us, which could feel quite indulgent. But actually, as we went through the exercises that Lynn took us through, and it was very much based on the teachings of Louise Hay. So you listened to me before, I'm a huge fan of Louise Hay. Louise Hay is all about self-love and self-care. And no matter what you want to give to the world, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So treating yourself occasionally like a queen, not all the time, not being bombastic, but about stepping into this queen energy can be so restorative, and it can really help your confidence. Okay, so I'm really seeing now a change in the working women that I'm working with. I think, as I say, for a long time, it has been a man's world. And for many women, they thought that to get on in life or to get on in business or to get on in politics or whatever, they had to act like a man in that very harsh, strict way. But I think things are changing now. And I think I'm hoping more and more people can bring their own personalities. Men and women can bring their own personalities to work and not just be that hard-headed, ambitious, very focused person. Now, sometimes you need to be like that depending on the situation. If you've got a project to finish, a task to complete, there's a time and the place for that, but it's not all of the time. Because I think leaders who lead like that, they don't bring the people with them. We've seen that so many times. And so I really want to talk about how empowering women after serious life changes by stepping into and playing with this queen energy. So a lot of challenges that I see women deal with, particularly cancer survivorship, returning to work, managing stress, stepping into that queen energy and being quite relaxed about, this is who I am in charge, but actually I've got all of the characteristics that I've just described. That can help you sometimes to redefine your identity when you've lost your way a little bit, which again, as I said, a lot of middle-aged women kind of lose the way, whether it's they feel lost in the job, they may have been through a relationship breakdown, maybe their children have grown up and moved on, maybe they're caring for elderly parents. All these roles, we're always in a state of flux. Nothing stays the same, does it? And so as you get carried along in these roles, quite often it's quite common for people to feel, well, I'm not really sure who I am anymore. So playing with the energy, playing with the characteristics of the queen that you like, that you want to bring more of into your world, can be a really powerful thing to do. And it can really help you with gaining confidence to re-enter the workforce or maybe to start your own business. I've seen so many women really change from being whatever they were in their corporate life or their day job, whatever it was in their old responsibilities, but moving into a new business, say, and being like the CEO, being the boss, being the director of their own business. It's a very different energy, and you can draw on these queen energies as well. And so think about a queen and what does she inspire other people? A queen at her best inspires respect, loyalty, service, provision. And people lay down their life for her. Now, you might not want that from the people around you, but you do want their loyalty. You do want to bring them along with you. And what do people go to the Queen for? They go to her for sanction, for blessing, for guidance, to give and to be of service. Now, that all sounds wonderful, doesn't it? It all sounds, oh yeah, let's all be a bit more queen-like. There is a danger if you go too far down that road, if you're too much in that queen energy, the overexpressed queen, we could call it, the overbearing queen. Maybe thinking about Margaret Thatcher, but there's other examples you can think of. She might become a tyrant. She might become a drama queen, or she might become an absolute bitch. She may become a narcissist. She may be thinking that she is actually the center of the universe. And driven by power, she may be reluctant to share responsibility. She may lash out at perceived threats to her authority. And I think at the end of Margaret Thatcher's reign, we saw her stint in power, we saw that she was lashing out at people around her who were challenging her. And I think that was kind of her downfall. She may see others as objects to exploit for her own gain and could become corrupt. Conversely, as I say, as women, we dip in and out of these roles. We can use this power for our advantage sometimes. Sometimes it feels really appropriate to step into your queen power, to claim it, to be the full, confident person that you want to be. But if you're underexpressed with your queen energy, what could happen is, rather than taking responsibility for the underexpressed queen, abdicates responsibility. She would let others make the decisions and will defer to the judgment of her boss, her husband, her family, people around her, her friends. Often insecure, she could be paranoid that people are out to get her. She has few boundaries and is rarely respected. And again, that is real queen energy, is being able to put boundaries in place and be able to, without guilt and without apologizing, be able to say, these are my boundaries. This is what I'm happy with. This is what I'm not. This is what works for me. This is what doesn't work for me. And that is not about being a bitch. It's about claiming your power. Okay. So if you're interested in this, I do have a little quiz that will tell you how much queen energy you've got, and maybe it's something you could do to improve your queen energy. So just ping me a message if you're interested in doing that. So as I said to you before, stepping into your queen energy can really help you to identify your own identity after a crisis or after a change in your life. It can give you more confidence if you can start acting a little bit more of these queen characteristics coming through. But also, most importantly, overcoming limiting beliefs and embracing your full potential. And here sometimes people say, oh, I wish I had the confidence to do that thing. And so many times I've said to people, yeah, but if you do that thing, you will become more confident, because confidence is like a muscle. You build it in the gym by doing exercises. The same is with your confidence. And by doing sometimes just a little bit outside of your comfort zone, you really can build your confidence. And again, as a coach, that's what I help people with. If things need changing in your world, you might need that support. You might need somebody to talk that through. And that's what a good coach can do. But you will only make the changes. You will only grow in confidence sometimes by stepping outside of your comfort zone. So I'm here to say, don't be afraid to step into your queen energy. It's there for you. You too could be wearing a crown. Okay. So daily habits that can help to activate your queen energy. I've talked about this before: positive affirmations and mindset shifts. So positive affirmations are the way that we talk to ourselves. Rather than saying, oh, you always mess up, say, well done, you did your best there. You did your best you could today. Talk to yourself like you would your best friend. Positive voices inside your head, and we all have that little voice inside our head. We want to make that little voice your best friend, not your worst enemy. And that could take practice if you've been criticizing yourself for years. And again, just the more you do it and the more you're conscious of it, the more you can catch yourself doing it. Think, yeah, that's something very easy. It's free. It's easy to do. It comes a bit strange at first, but the more you can do it. The other thing, again, going back to Louise Hay's teachings, practicing self-love and setting firm boundaries doesn't make you a bad person. It allows you to be the person you were meant to be. And the people around you who love you won't mind that at all. What do they say? The people who mind don't matter. And the people who matter don't mind if you ask for what you want. There's nothing wrong with asking for what you want, as long as you're not becoming that overexpressed queen, that bitch, that tyrant. That's not what you're about. I know you're not if you're listening to this. You're interested in being the best version of yourself. And that's what I want as well. I'm not perfect, make mistakes, but that's part of life, isn't it? The other thing that's very good as well for helping you to step into your queen power is meditation and practical exercises. And again, if you're interested in any of that, ping me a message and I can talk you through some of that, because it's really, really useful. The other thing that's really useful for queen energy and enhancing your queen energy is the power of sisterhood. Being around like-minded people, there is nothing better than that, to reaffirming that actually there's nothing wrong with you. Your ideas, your thoughts, your actions, they're all valid. So find people who validate that. Find people who are on your wavelength. And again, sometimes it's so easy on social media now to find groups of people who are interested in stuff that you're interested in. So reach out, get that, work on collaboration, not competition, and mentorship and support networks for women. There's lots of them out there. Okay. And again, if you're in the northwest of England, I know some great ones, but there's loads of online ones as well, where you can get that support, you can get that help. So I'm hoping that's been useful for you. As I say, I do work a lot with archetypes, but particularly this week after my lovely event with Lynn and the Queen for the Day, it's really made me think about being a queen for a day, but being a queen every day and tapping into that queen energy and bringing more of that into my life to help me to create the life that I want. And you can create the life that you want as well. Last message that I want to leave you with is you are the queen of your life. This is time now for you to make your decisions and step into your power. Okay, the time is ready for you now. So thank you so much for listening. It absolutely means the world to me. As always, I'd urge you to stay safe and stay sane. Have a brilliant week, and I'll speak to you very soon, my darling.